Hello, welcome back to another Blu-ray update. It's been a couple of months and this is kind of the result of a big backlog. This is stuff I bought with birthday money, this is cheap deals I got, this is stuff that I've shown in a couple of other videos, this is films I've talked about in other videos, and I've even taken quite a few things out because it would just be too much, and I wanted to at least, you know, give every title a little bit of something, you know, not just kind of just rattle through everything. So I'm going to save some stuff until the next Blu-ray update. I've got two things I'm expecting that are really cool, and so those will roll over to the next Blu-ray update in maybe a couple of weeks time. So there's lots more to come, but we have box sets, we have Criterions, steelbooks, all sorts of cool stuff. Silent films, which I know everyone loves. So we're going to kick off with a silent film. Actually, let's just get those two out of the way. This one I'm really happy about. It is a Kino Classics release from the US. Buster Keaton, Go West, and Battling Butler. This is a double feature release. It has two of his films, I think, from 1925 and 1926. Go West, it's a wonderful little film about Buster. It's kind of his cowboy movie. He kind of befriends this cow, becomes a kind of a farmhand out in the middle of the desert, and then madness ensues and leads to a hell of a finale. And Battling Butler, I watch and talk about in Silent Movie Marathon 3, coming up very soon. And you'll have to wait to hear about my thoughts on that film until then. But spoilers, I really liked it. Great release from Kino. They have the nice slipcase and the Blu-ray on the inside, some good special features. You know, they do a great job with these Buster Keaton films. I'm glad to add another one to the collection. I really want to get all of them, even if they are going to re-release some of these films in 4K, or from the 4K restorations that have taken place recently. We have some Blu-ray I got from Network in a sale. Alfred Hitchcock's The Lodger. I think it's a Story of the London Fog is its kind of subtitle. Still haven't seen this yet. I know that it has an interesting score that was done recently. This is a silent film, obviously, and yeah, there's like a 2-disc soundtrack and booklet. So they're really pushing the soundtrack of this film, and I've heard that there's actually a pop song at some point during the film, which doesn't sound too promising. But it's a Hitchcock film. It's a must-see because of that, and I'm looking forward to checking it out in my Silent Movie Marathon 4. I'm doing 2 this year. Now let's just move on to some Criterions. Why the hell not? And you've heard me talk about some of these. Stagecoach, John Ford, incredible western. I just love the way this film looks, the way it was shot out in the Old West, and John Ford's just, his way of filming these landscapes is just really appealing to me. But also you got John Wayne as the first teaming with him and John Wayne. I've reviewed this film as part of the Epic Film Challenge 2, which will be kind of a recurring theme here, I guess. Me pointing you to other videos where I've talked about these in more depth. Great release from Criterion. I also watched the other film included on this, Bucking Broadway from 1917, and I will talk about that in my Silent Movie Marathon 3. But Stagecoach is a hell of a film, and definitely one of the best westerns I've ever seen. Great release from Criterion. And if you want to hear my story about that Blu-ray and how I got it, you can check out my Criterion Blu-ray haul video from a couple of weeks ago. Then we have The Phantom Carriage, which is kind of the centerpiece of Silent Movie Marathon 3. I talk about this film for so long in that marathon video coming up, but suffice it to say that this is, for me, one of the best films ever made. I absolutely adored this. I mean, spoilers, I'm giving it away. I fell in love with this film. It is an absolute masterpiece. I don't think I could see it being outside of a top 50 favourite films of all time, top 50 best films I've ever seen. It's an incredible piece of work, and if you want to hear me talk about it more, this is just an advert for other videos, but it's a very kind of dark tale, a morality play in a way, I think, and it's directed by Victor Sjöström, Swedish director. This is 1921, and he also stars and gives an amazing performance as this man who goes on one hell of a journey, a creepy journey through many different things in this film. It's an incredible release from Criterion as well, lots of great special features. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this film, and you'll hear me talk about that more in Silent Movie Marathon 3. This is a release that I've been wanting to get for a while. I'd heard of it and really wanted to get it based on one actor in particular who is one of my favourite actors of all time, and he's in this, and I finally saw it for a ridiculously good price, almost giving it away. James Clavell's Shogun. This is the German edition. Unfortunately, the sticker is not removable there on the slipcover, which is a real shame because it's a really nice slipcover. And on the front cover there you have Toshiro Mifune, one of my favourite actors of all time. He's in this this mini-series. It was an 80s mini-series that was screened on American television. This has a 13-part making-of documentary, some other featurettes, and this is English friendly. I don't think there's anything else you can really show it other than the same cover on the inside, and I think that there's some inside artwork with kind of chapter listings in German, and you get 3 discs to cover the mini-series, which is a 5-part mini-series, and I believe it's just presented on the Blu-ray across 3 discs as one continuous feature, which lasts for 549 minutes, so it's a real long one, and I'm really looking forward to watching it. I might do some kind of like a movie night vlog, even though it's not a movie, and maybe do. I want to try and do the original, the way this was screened. I want to try and watch it on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday evening, and kind of get through it the way that it was originally screened in the 80s. But really looking forward to this. I've heard very good things about it. Now let's move on to some steelbooks. We've got some steelbooks as well. This one is a BFI release. This was going really cheap, and it was one of the films in the book, 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die. It is a film by Werner Herzog, Aegir, The Wrath of God. Great front image there of the lead actor, Klaus Kinski. The back, there is, wow, I didn't even notice this, there is absolutely nothing on the back. Completely just blank. Well, there you go, it is what it is. But I like the spine. I like the front cover. It's not going to focus. It's a nice spine, you can imagine. Really nice release. You've got a booklet, inside artwork with the steelbook, and a lot of great features on the Blu-ray. There's a commentary from Herzog, which I haven't listened to yet. There's both versions of the film, the German and the English. And it is a film about this guy right here who goes into the rainforest. I think it's hundreds of years ago. Spanish conquistadors, they're going to find the city of lost gold, El Dorado. This was shot on location in Peru in the rainforest. And it's an incredible film to look at just because of that. The Blu-ray looks great, but it's really this power play between all the characters who are going on this journey. And Klaus Kinski's character, Aegir, is someone who is really just throwing a wrench into everything that happens, and he's such a devious character. And Klaus Kinski has such a magnetic presence on screen that he really sells this film. Again, I've reviewed this as part of the Epic Film Challenge too, if you want to hear more thoughts on that. The next steelbook I got, I did a movie night vlog video of, so if you want to hear more in-depth thoughts, you can check it out there. Batman the Killing Joke, a film a lot of us were anticipating as Batman fans. You know, they were finally going to do this, the classic 80s graphic novel. They'd already done year 1, they'd already done The Dark Knight Returns to great effect, and some would say this is the weakest of those 3, and I think I'd probably agree. The prologue isn't great. It just isn't. You know, it's not written particularly well. It's fine on its own. But once you get to the Killing Joke section, like the last 40 minutes of the film, I think it's incredible. We got Mark Hamill back as the Joker, Kevin Conroy back as Batman. Those two together are just gold. And to hear Mark Hamill giving the lines from the Killing Joke is just phenomenal. I think they did an amazing job with that section of the film. This is an amazing steelbook. I love the kind of glossy effect on the Joker and kind of matte behind him. And the back cover is phenomenal, absolutely stunning. I love this artwork. I'm really happy to have got this steelbook, and I love the disc artwork, how it's white and just really stands out, and you got that classic image there. They did a very good job kind of matching the iconic imagery from the graphic novel and retaining the story in all its horror, I think, and it was R-rated, so they didn't pull any punches, and I'm glad for that. Next up we have a steelbook I've been waiting to get for years. I just was always waiting for it to drop to a good price. I was waiting to pull the trigger on it. Finally did. It was about £7. Got a little bit of a discount on it as well. One of my favourite horror films of all time, David Cronenberg's The Fly. Love this steelbook. I only noticed recently that you actually see Jeff Goldblum's face inside the eyes there. Bit of a tacky effect there, but the fly there is embossed. I love the design on the text. Brilliant, a brilliant steelbook, a great and brilliant steelbook. Really love that moody kind of greenish kind of feel to that. Just great artwork on this. The inside artwork is terrible, I think. It's just this shot of Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis, and it's not a very dynamic image to choose for the inside artwork. They could have gone with something a lot more interesting, and for the record, there is the disc artwork. Watched it a couple of nights ago. Blu-ray looks great. There's a ton of special features, like a 2.5 hour long making of documentary, so definitely worth picking up. A great steelbook and a great film, and some great special features. This one I feel like a right tit about. I already own this, and it is a massive cinema release. It was going really cheap. It is Island of Lost Souls. Why did you buy it again, Luke, you stupid idiot? Well, the thing is, My copy of this has this kind of white dot on it, and it looks like kind of a mold, kind of the painter's molded away or something. And so I thought, I want to get it in a pristine copy. So it's going so cheap, like £5, so I picked it up. And it has the exact same mark. In fact, it has two of them. I don't know if you'll be able to get this or pick this up on the camera in any way, but it's like there and there. Let's see if we can get it a little bit closer. There, you can kind of see it, I think. I can see it anyway. So there and there. And so apparently these steelbooks, this run has been plagued with these little dots. So I know what to do. I guess I'll have to sell it or something. It's a great film, it's a great steelbook, but yeah, that was kind of a waste of money. Hopefully I can make it back somehow. We got two really cool box sets, so I'll save them till the end. And then here we got a stack of kind of regular, just standard plain Jane Blu-rays. This one is from Signal One Entertainment, just came out a few weeks ago. Eyewitness. I did a video on this. This is a great Blu-ray release. The film was really interesting. Disappointed me a little bit, but I'm a big fan excuse me, of Sigourney Weaver, and she's great in the film. It's a great cast. James Woods, Morgan Freeman, you know, in early roles, and William Hurt, who plays one of the main characters. He's kind of this creepy guy who works as a janitor in this building, and he kind of fantasizes and lusts over this woman here, played by Sigourney Weaver, who's a television broadcaster, you know, news reporter, and so he tells her that he has information about this murder that she's trying to get a scoop on, just so that he can get closer to her, because he fancies her basically. And it takes kind of a creepy kind of tone from there, but then it also goes into another area, and I talked about it in depth. But it's a pretty good 80s film, you know. It's enjoyable, but the Blu-ray is incredible because, I mean, the film looks great, but the amount of special features on this is unbelievable. Audio commentary with the director. There is a 1982, and the film came out in 1981, so just after the film's release. There is this audio interview where the director discusses his career, and you can listen to it as a second commentary track throughout the entire film, which is a really cool feature because it's an audio-only bonus feature. Then there's like an hour and a half, like 1996 Q&A with the director, and then there's viewing notes. The composer of the film talks about putting the score together for this film. Then there is the alternate version of this film, called The Janitor in the UK, and it is the full UK VHS rip of this film on Blu-ray. I mean, it looks as bad as a VHS rip can be, but you get more information on the top and the bottom. So it's a really cool little oddity. So you can watch the film all over again, but you can see more on the top and the bottom, and you can have that scratchy kind of VHS feel, which I kind of feel suits an 80s movie like this. I was saying in the video that I did for this that I feel like this is something best experienced at like 1 o'clock in the morning on like a bad reception TV in like the late 80s, early 90s. But they included the whole VHS cut. I thought that was phenomenal. Original theatrical trailer, original TV spot, and they've also reinstated the original title, The Janitor, in HD into the main film. So you can actually choose to watch it as Eyewitness or as The Janitor. So Signal One did an amazing job with that release. Just all the details they put into it. This one I haven't seen. It's kind of a thriller, cop thriller, starring what's his name? What is his name? It's really gonna bug me. It's gonna be on the back. Roy Scheider, the legendary Roy Scheider from Jaws. The 7-Ups. I haven't seen this yet. I've just been so busy. Really want to though. Another Signal One Entertainment release. It looks really good because it's from the director of. No, it's not. It's from the producer of Bullet and The French Connection. I think that's the guy who, yeah, Peter Yates, who directed Eyewitness, directed Bullet. But the Steve McQueen movie. This has a ton of special features on it as well. We have an introduction. We have a new interview with the director, filmed in 2016, a new interview with an actor from the film from 2016, a new interview with a technical advisor from 2016, cut to the chase, a new documentary on the film's iconic car chase from 2016, the anatomy of a chase, I'll leave that in, a vintage behind-the-scenes documentary from 1973, an audio commentary with writer and film expert Richard Harland Smith, a Super 8 version from 1973, an original cut-down home cinema presentation, a scrapbook, lobby cards, stills and media gallery, original theatrical teaser, original theatrical trailer. Signal One know what they're doing when it comes to special features, so I'm hoping I enjoy the film because there'll be a lot to dive into. There's hours worth of material there, and it looks like fun. It looks like a good 70s gritty kind of cop movie, and Roy Scheider's great, so I think, yeah, this is before Jaws, but yeah. We have some network Blu-rays, which I made a video about as well, so we'll kind of rattle through these. I did watch this recently and review it as part of the Epic Film Challenge 2, and also my kind of new marathon series, Trianathon, where me and Connie sit down and watch 3 animated movies and talk about them. So if you haven't seen that, it's an hour-long video, and this is one of the ones we talked about, Animal Farm from Network. This is the only Blu-ray release of this in the world. I think is it region free? No, it's region B locked, unfortunately, but a great British animated film. I think the first UK produced animated feature-length film, and is an adaptation of the George Orwell novel. We have these animals who kind of uprise against their horrible owner at the farm, and they take over and call it Animal Farm. And we have these pigs who are vying for control, and who's going to be the dictator of the place. There's a pig called Napoleon, a pig called Snowflake. They're vying for who's going to be the person to lay down all the rules. An animal must not kill other animal, and it's kind of a descent from a civilized society and a fair and equal society into one that is run, you know, by greed and power. It's a very good story. It's not really a kids' film, I don't feel. It is rated a U. I think a PG would have been best for this. It's a dark film, and it isn't one that you're going to walk away from with a chirpy, happy Disney feeling at the end. But I think that it's a real great animated film, and I really enjoyed it. But it is quite bleak. This one I haven't seen yet, really looking forward to it. I did talk about it in the Network Blu-ray haul video. Rome Express. I'm a big train movie guy, so I'm looking forward to watching this. As a film from the 30s. I just love that front cover, so I'm excited about that one. I think this one has a booklet and stuff. You know, Network do some really nice releases as well, and have some really good prices. I got these in a sale. This one I'm really looking forward to as well. It's a Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger film. Powell and Pressburger, kind of director duo. Black Narcissus. I've seen one of their films before, A Matter of Life and Death, and I love that film, so I'm hoping for more of the same greatness from this Black Narcissus, but I haven't seen it yet. To supplement the Animal Farm Blu-ray, I picked this one up, the Halas and Batchelor short film collection. It was a, I think is it John Halas and Joy Batchelor? Yeah, John Halas and Joy Batchelor, a husband and wife animated team, and based out of Britain, and this is all of their short, a large selection of their short films that they produced and things, all sorts of different animation. I'm really getting into animation now, so I'm looking forward to checking this out now, especially since I've now seen Animal Farm, and I can go and check out all the kind of, there's like bonus features and stuff on there, which is pretty cool. And finally from Network, Alfred Hitchcock's Sabotage from the 30s. I love this film, did an Epic Film Challenge 2 review of it if you want to scroll back. And if you want to find these reviews easier, you can go to my website, epicfilmchallenge2.wordpress.com, where I've archived all of the episodes so far, and you can find this pretty easily just by going to the category of Alfred Hitchcock. But Sabotage, great film about this kind of a bit of an espionage tale set in London. This is when Hitchcock was still making films in the UK. And the tension in some of the scenes in this film is unbelievable. It really took me by surprise, but I love the setting around this cinema that the main characters were running. There's some great tension, as I mentioned, and you know, I just really was surprised by this. It's actually one of my favorite Hitchcocks now. Really highly recommend it if you have a way to find it and check it out. Sabotage, great film. This one is just purely to add to the Michael Keaton collection, White Noise. Not a great film, but I do really enjoy it. I like how this film kind of ends on a note that you wouldn't expect, and I do enjoy it, and I've reviewed this as part of my Michael Keaton month, where I've reviewed every single film Michael Keaton has been in, or had been in, up until 2013. That was a series I did 3 years ago. But I did enjoy this. It's a good film about a guy who loses his wife, and he kind of becomes aware of this phenomena, or this so-called phenomena of hearing your loved ones, or hearing people who have passed on through kind of radio static, TV static, things like that. So he tries to kind of get back in contact with his wife, and that is what the film is about. This is a Blu-ray from Germany. It was dirt cheap, so I had to pick it up and add it to the Michael Keaton collection. This was, again, another kind of, it was so cheap I had to. It was, I think, £3 from Amazon. So I just picked it up, Disney's Tarzan. This is one of the ones I haven't seen. This is number 37 in the Classics collection. I do collect these films, not actively, you know, but I do kind of like to chip away at it whenever I can. And seeing a Disney Blu-ray for like £3, yeah, I'm all over that. And looking forward to checking it out because I've never seen it before. Then we have one that is purely based on one of the actors who's in this film. It was one of his final big roles, and I've never seen this film. I remember seeing adverts for this film and thinking it looked boring as shit when it came out, but now I just think it looks incredible. Directed by Sam Mendes, Road to Perdition, starring Tom Hanks, is it Jude Law? Yeah, Jude Law and Paul motherfucking Newman. I'm a huge Paul Newman fan now. I did my Paul Newman marathon earlier this year, and I'm really looking forward to checking him out in this film. Tom Hanks and Paul Newman in the same film. Sounds incredible. I don't know much about the film itself, so I'm going to leave it at that, because I'm looking forward to just watching this film and just being taken with it wherever it wants to take me, and just to kind of watch the performances from those great actors. This one again, dirt cheap, like £2.50, new from Amazon, The Artist. I saw this in the cinema when it came out, so I suppose this is the first silent film I really saw actually. But I haven't really revisited it in the past few years when I've become a huge silent cinema fan, so I cannot wait to revisit this film because I'm going to enjoy it so much more than I already did, which was a great deal to begin with. Of course, this was the 2011 or 2012 Best Picture winner, a 2011 film that won the Best Picture Oscar. The actor in the film, what's his name, Jean Dujardin. He won the Best Actor Oscar, which was incredible to me. That in a silent film, this French guy won the Academy Award. Won 7 BAFTAs, 5 Oscars. You know, incredible film about this silent movie star and kind of, well, 2 silent movie stars, and the way that their paths cross and intersect, and how they help each other and how they move away from each other, all that kind of stuff. It's a really sweet film that is such a love letter to silent films. I can't wait to revisit it. I really can't, because now I'm a big fan of them. This is a great film, talked about recently, Epic Film Challenge 2, The Breakfast Club. Again, going dirt cheap, had to pick it up. It had been many years since I saw it. Classic 80s film, I love this film so much. Perfect cast, perfect writing and directing from John Hughes, the legend himself. Seminal 80s movie. Now we have a big one. This is a film series that I first saw in 2009 on VHS. And I watched all 3 of them. I loved them. They lived up to the hype. And now, 7 years later, I finally picked them up on Blu-ray. The Godfather Collection. This was going for £8 on Amazon. There was a sale recently, I think about a month ago. Had to pick it up. I love the box set. You know, I mean, it's kind of just one of the standard box sets you get with a bunch of Amarais inside, but there's really nice embossing, gold. The blood is kind of glossy across the box set, as you can see there. It really does pop. You got the Francis Ford Coppola signature embossed in gold at the bottom there. It's just a really classy set, and there's tons of special features. And we have the 3 films inside and the bonus disc. And I haven't seen these films, you know, since the first time I saw them. So we have the original classic, The Godfather. Amazing film, I loved it. And then, even better in my opinion, The Godfather Part 2. I thought this was just unbelievable. And then the much maligned 3rd installment, The Godfather Part 3, which I really enjoyed, was nowhere near the first 2, and I love the ending of this. But that was 7 years ago, so I'm really eager to dive back into them, and seeing them on Blu-ray is going to be like a whole other experience. And then we have the supplements on the 4th disc there. So I've heard good things about the special features for this, but just owning these movies in general just seems long overdue, and I'm really glad to finally put it and add it to my collection. The Godfather trilogy, the Coppola restoration, as the box set is titled. And finally, you've seen it, we've seen it, me unbox this. It's a massive cinema release, the Buster Keaton short film collection from Eureka. Haven't even delved into this yet. I don't know when I'm going to. I'm kind of just saving it because I know it's going to be amazing, and I've flicked through some things actually, and they just look stunning. We got a almost 200-page book in there. We got the 3 Blu-rays inside that house, I think, over 30 films, something like that. And we have amazing array of special features. Again, I've done an unboxing where I go over all of that, but you know, audio commentaries on some of the films, a newly discovered version of The Blacksmith containing 4 minutes of previously unseen footage, an alternate ending to Coney Island, an alternate ending to My Wife's Relation, a new video essay by critic and filmmaker David Keynes, an introduction by preservationist Sergei Bromberg, who's really been instrumental in a lot of this, you know, the restoration of these films. The Art of Buster Keaton, a new introduction again by Serge Bromberg. Life with Buster Keaton, audio recording of Keaton at a party, and then of course the book itself. Just absolutely stunning release, one of the best Blu-ray releases I think ever. Because it has all this stuff, and Kino have put this out as well. They kind of re-updated their Buster Keaton short film collection to include everything from 1917 to 1923, like this box set. In fact, it came out before this box set, but this one has the big book, the thick book. And again, I've done an unboxing, so I won't go into any more detail, but I cannot wait to really delve into this when I feel like the time is right. But you know, this is just a holy grail for me, a Buster Keaton Blu-ray from Masters of Cinema, and it has all these amazing films. I mean, I've seen all of his own produced films, and I can't wait to revisit them. So there we go, that has been a huge Uber Blu-ray update, and there's still more to come. I have 7 other Massive Cinema titles, I have a few more Criterions to talk about. There will be another Steelbook, a pretty cool one, and another Blu-ray box set. So lots more to come in the next Blu-ray update that will be forthcoming soon. Hope you enjoyed this. Leave me your thoughts on anything and everything, as Ian always says, down below, on any of the Blu-rays I talked about, the films, if you've seen them. And that's about it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
So you might say he's a really nice guy, really, but if fucking don't cut shit with me. He says he's really cool, but I think he's a tool.